Hi, I am Farah Manju, a female and kids empowerment coach, and I'm the owner of Baraka Coaching and Empowerment based on the North Coast, South Africa. And today I am going to share with you a few points on making healthy choices. And since the festive season is just around the corner, I want to empower you with skills and tools and some knowledge on holistic perspective to food choices and making wise decisions with regard to eating. Because I empower women to become the best versions of themselves and also maximizing their time and energy. I know that food plays a very vital role in our lives, and it's not like we can go a day without food. But I'd like to invite you to change or shift your mindset around how you view food and your perspective on the benefits that food can have in your life if you make the wiser choices. And we all have busy and challenging lives. And many of us don't always eat very healthy because we're always on the go and we're always on the run. And, personally speaking and very honestly speaking, I haven't always been the healthiest of eaters. And I enjoyed making very tasty and delicious foods. And I always gave my body, in the past, what it really wanted, what it craved for, and not what it needed to sustain itself throughout the day and have that energy, gain the energy from my foods. But I realized, in the past 5 years that what we eat, we are what we eat essentially. So we have to make wiser choices moving forward in how we can sustain our body through the foods we eat throughout the day, so that our body can function optimally and give us the best of our foods and help us to absorb the nutritions from our foods. So some of us have a very complicated relationship with food. So the food is not just there to sustain them and nourish them. A lot of people use food to comfort them and to, numb their feelings and emotions, and they use it to overcome challenges. And where other people use food for recreational and as a social thing. And, looking at it from those perspectives, it's really not enriching your health, you eating and socializing with people and having a lot of sugary foods and processed foods, and because everyone else is consuming it, you feel the need to. And at times we also use food as a numbing agent to stuff down our emotions. If we're going through stress or something difficult, we can use food to comfort ourselves, and we really gravitate towards the fattening foods, the quick fixes, and the sugary foods. And all of those processed foods, also we use them as quick fixes when we have a very busy life and we want to get back to the hamster wheel. So actually making food prep and preparing your foods, it seems like a daunting task. And we no longer make conscious decisions about what we are eating. We just eat, anything that is available to us. So I want to invite you and help you and, inspire you to make healthier choices and to review your eating patterns and, to review how you are eating and why you are eating the way you are. Because we don't realize when we don't eat consciously, we are actually damaging our body, we're damaging our health. And when we eat consciously and we think before choosing the foods that we put in our mouth, then that is when we are becoming more aware and we're making healthier decisions with what we are choosing to eat. So essentially, the relationship that we have with food, whether it's complex or simple, it tells us a little story about yourself, because it actually reflects the relationship you have with yourself. So if you're unable to make healthy choices with your foods, that means that it says a lot about your relationship with yourself, with you not having personal boundaries and you not reaching that level of self-empowerment and self-love yet. Because a big part of your self-care routine should include making wise and healthy choices with your eating. And it's also being mindful of what foods you are going to prepare for the week, for the month, and to have those healthy and nutritious ingredients available to you. So like you plan for a successful outcome with anything that you do, in order to have a successful eating plan, you have to plan ahead and create like a food timetable, organize and plan your weekly menus, and ensure that you are going to purchase those fresh products so that you can have them fresh at hand. So I'd like to give you some tips on some health foods that I consume and that are actually known as high vibe foods, because they are superfoods and you can consume them in different shapes and forms. So, and they're also very high in nutrients and they have a powerhouse of vitamins. And as we know that all the high vibe foods sustains our energy throughout the day, and it doesn't make us sleepy or too full or lethargic. And that's what we want. We want our food to actually transmute into energy, and that we can be productive and make the most of our day. So our food is like the fuel that keeps our engine going. So I'm going to share with you my 8 top high vibe, I would call it high vibe foods, because it gives you lots of energy. So one is green leafy vegetables. So my favorite is spinach. You could also go for broccoli and other green vegetables. The leafy vegetables carry a lot of B vitamins and iron. 2 is berries. So berries are very high in antioxidants and they have healing properties, and you can choose all the berries, and I personally love strawberry. 3 is sprouts. Sprouts actually aid absorption of other vitamins and it binds the nutrients. 4 is fresh herbs. So I love adding fresh herbs on the top of my cooked meals. I add fresh green herbs, like we're talking parsley, thyme, also rosemary. They are very detoxifying. You can also add it into your salad or in your juices. And 5 is your spices. So you need to use your spices in moderation. Many of the spices do carry healing properties, so they help with digestion. And my favorite spices are turmeric, cinnamon, ginger, garlic, and cayenne pepper. And those spices are actually boiled into a milky drink, or you can add those spices also into your fresh squeezed juices. Number 6 is beans and legumes. So those have a powerhouse of vitamins, B vitamins, and iron, and fiber and protein. And 7 is nuts. So nuts is brain food, so any type of raw nuts that is not coated or sugared, and they have healthy fats and omega. They carry protein. So if you're not eating meat, then you should be having more of the beans, legumes, sprouts, and nuts to make up for your protein. And 8 is calming teas or herbal tea. So that is very cleansing and it's very powerful antioxidant. So instead of going for caffeine teas, rather go for a freshly brewed herbal tea like chamomile, lavender, rooibos. Those are my favorites. And I also want to share with you my comfort, healthy, high vibe milky drink, which is raw cacao. So instead of like having Milo or hot chocolate, I have a milky warm cacao. And I can share the recipe in this caption below. But I simply love a hot cacao in place of coffee, in place of other very sugar-rich drinks. So cacaos are very healing for the heart, and it's very high in antioxidant, and it replaces other comfort foods. So I'd like to ask you a very important question. Now that I shared these high vibe foods and the benefits that each has, what is stopping you from making these healthy choices and actually moving towards more nutritious eating choices compared to the easy quick fixes? So there's 3 things that actually prevent you from eating healthy and making wiser choices. The first thing is laziness and procrastination. So we want, as human beings, we want instant gratification. And many times we feel that it's too much of effort to go and cook a fresh meal without, going to the restaurant, or, buying takeouts or hamburgers, or, just a box meal that's so much quicker and easier. So it's our laziness and procrastination where we're not planning ahead. The second thing is emotional stress. So our emotional state also influences what foods we are eating. So when we're in a very positive state of mind, we do want to take care of our bodies more, and our self-care routine is much more, efficient. So we are going to, relapse and kind of regress when we're in a stressed mood. When we down and out, we do crave sugar and we do crave comfort foods, and that's when our meal plans go out the window. So our mood affects our food choices. The third thing is social influence. So lots of family get-togethers mean there's going to be a wide variety of foods and desserts and cakes and fried things, and a lot of very sugar and fatty rich foods. And when family comes together and there's social interaction, there's a lot of pressure to eat things that people cooked, and we don't want to make them feel bad, so we end up indulging while we are socializing. So that has become a recreational thing where we go out and make food part of our social interactions. So those are the 3 reasons. But we can change our relationship with food by us having our personal boundaries made strong within ourselves, and for us to take more ownership over our health, because our health is our wealth. And when we take that self-responsibility for what we are eating and making those conscious decisions, we find that we can make the necessary changes to our daily eating plan and what we choose to put into our body. And the third thing is that we need to also work on achieving emotional well-being and a positive mindset, because that highly influences our food choices. And it's so important to, when we are setting boundaries with ourselves, to, openly say to people, well, I don't feel like eating cake today and I'm actually cutting down my sugar. So to be vocal about what you want, and not just to give in to what other people are doing or feeling forced to eat what other people have made. So planning, organizing, and getting super efficient is going to help you to make healthier choices this festive season, irrespective whether you're getting together with family or you're staying at home. So I hope that this information has been useful. And another last tip that I want to leave with you today, in order for you to make conscious decisions for your health and your well-being that is going to pay off positively, you need to find something that will motivate you. And once you find that thing that is intrinsically motivating you, whether it be fitting into your favorite pair of jeans or your outfit, or just eating healthy so you can have better skin, or whether you're choosing to eat healthy to overcome some sort of illness. Whatever your motivation is, find out what your motivation is going to be, so that can drive you to be consistent. And just remember that your health is your wealth. So when you are faced with a choice of eating something healthy versus eating something unhealthy, just remind yourself that what's going to pay off in the long run. And also that eat the foods that you love in moderation. So if you love a nice samosa, treat yourself to that maybe on a weekend or once a week. Don't, like starve yourself from those things that you love. Eat the things that you love in moderation or use that as treats, but have more healthy foods that you are consuming consistently throughout the day and throughout the week. So this is my wisdom for you for today, and I hope that you found it useful, and have a beautiful festive season. Take care.